going to be a touchdown. That is going to be a touchdown. The Jags are going to win it on a Rayshawn Jenkins pick six.
Oh, my God. Look at that. Short again.
An all-out blitz. They hit him as he likes to go. The ball comes out. The ball comes out and is picked up. The Jags are running it back. The Jags are running it back. The Jags are going to run it into the end zone. Josh Allen scores a touchdown. Josh Allen is running back for a touchdown for Jacksonville.
I've said it many times. I'll say it again. It's like a great gravy. You know, you could have an average piece of meat, and if you put amazing gravy on top of it, you'll eat every bite of it.
You have faith in yourself. You have faith in each other. You keep encouraging one another like we talk about all the time, and you believe. You know, belief is about understanding that you can get it done, right? And then it gets done, right? It just can't happen, and then you have belief, right? And that's what faith is about. And you guys have it.
Always Jags.
Get ready, Henderson. Get ready. The slap finna happen. We been a slap, tap, whap, tap, 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 tap.
This boy got a hit.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your host Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and E to the T.
All right, good morning, everybody. All those beautiful sounds of Duval County right there as we welcome you into a Thursday here on Jaguars Today, 3 weeks out from the NFL Draft. And good morning, Tony. How are you?
Good morning. Doing well.
My iPad's at 91% power right now. What will it be at 2 hours from now after streaming featured groups at the Masters?
Yeah, Tiger's about to hit the tee here in about 15 minutes.
Yes,
so.
10:10 starts the featured group coverage on the CBS Sports app. So what do you project? I'm gonna say it's gonna eat up about half the battery.
Yeah,
I'm say I'm like gonna be low 40s, something like that.
Like, you know your iPad better than I do.
It's funny how certain things like sometimes you're streaming. I'm at 99%. I'm doing what, and other times I'm like, how am I at 27% already? So.
Yeah. But I'll take the over on that. I'll say that.
You think it'll be better?
I think it'll be closer to 50.
Okay.
So I'll go like 49.
I'm going like 42%. But who knows? I've got On the Tee going on right now. So we'll be very focused on the subject matter at hand today. Good morning, E.T. How are you?
Yo.
On the E.T. at the Masters. Good morning, sir. What, the youngster still got his head on the pillow?
He slumped, man.
Today?
I'm doing it, man. Keeping him up late.
3 a.m. bedtime will do that for you,
Keeping him up late.
All right, wearing him out. That's what the, we used to, I never understood why this was at all reasonably fair. When we were kids, in Connecticut, we lived very close to the beach. I live closer to the beach in Connecticut than I do in Florida, right? Not that, you can't hop in the car and go to the beach, whatever. But on the occasions we'd take pack the family truckster and head to the beach and make a day of it down there, my parents would always seem to want to come home and it'd still be light out. And they'd be like, it's time for bed.
Trying to get ready for bed.
And if they're going to bed, everybody's going to bed in our house. Now, I was a kid, but it just never seemed right, E.
Right.
I get the whole idea of wearing the kids out. Sometimes you wear the parents out.
Oh, that's true. True.
It works opposite. So, anyway, I do remember trying to fall asleep with the light still shining in the window on occasion because my parents were weird like that. I guess they thought, I don't know, what the heck. Yeah, I mean,
We're done.
You wouldn't want a 7-year-old running around the house by himself. But,
We've had enough of you all for this day.
I guess.
Bedtime, yeah.
If you were listening, not to the stream, but if you're listening to the radio broadcast here right before we came on, E.T. played a clip in an update from Demetrius Harvey yesterday talking about Cam Robinson and the likelihood or lack thereof that he'll be here next year. As the contract is currently constituted, Tony, he's right. I mean, you'll take a $5 million dead cap hit to move on from Cam Robinson next year. You'll save nearly $18 million against the cap. Now, that certainly can be renegotiated, lower the cap number, but barring that, I can't imagine he's playing on this contract beyond the 2023 season.
Yeah, I think it's not something that we've talked about a ton, to this point in the offseason. There's been other things going on, right? With all the guys that they've been restructuring their the team's involvement or lack thereof in free agency to this point, what was going on, what is going to happen with Taylor and Key and all these different things. And we talked about the Josh Allen deal yesterday, and I think it, leads into a discussion about the Cam Robinson and his future in Jacksonville as well, because I agree. I don't think he's playing the second year of that contract as it's written right now.
Or the third. What would be the third year of the deal.
Right. Like, I don't think this year he'll play with
Right.
the 2 years left. This year he's going to play on the deal that he has. And then the Jags have a decision to make. I don't think he's playing those 2 years the way that they look right now. I think that the possibilities are he gets cut, released, whatever, traded. Maybe that's a potential next offseason as well from this football team. Or they get an extension, something done with Cam Robinson next offseason so that they can rework that second year of the contract where it's more manageable. But I think those are the possibilities for Cam, that he's playing 1 year here or he's playing 3 or more years here in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I think that's right. I don't think he's going to just play the 2 years he has left on the deal, which, I heard you talking with Dan and Jeff before we came on today about, his offensive tackle off the first-round radar. I don't think it is at all. I mean, I
don't either.
You bring in all the Josh Wells level players you want, and it's not going to change my mind about that. He's not a starting level player, not a full, he's a guy that in a pinch has started in the league. You can plug in, right, and he's not going to, throw up all over his shoes, so to speak, but he's not a long-term solution on either side of the offensive line. So, you look at, you've got Walker Little, you lost Juwan Taylor, the uncertainty surrounding Cam, just the fact that he's coming back from injury. How is he going to respond coming back from another injury? Maybe he'll be fine in that regard, but I think there are enough question marks out there that I don't think offensive tackle has decreased that much. I think all they did is what we talked about this week and, basically put themselves in a position where they don't feel like they have to panic if there isn't the right offensive tackle value early in the draft.
They have a swing tackle on the roster. They didn't 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's basically what they did by bringing in Josh Wells. I don't think it changes what you're going to do in the draft if you're the Jags, but it does affect your depth chart there along the offensive line.
All right, so today, your Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day has to do with that first pick in the draft. We're exactly 3 weeks out from the first day of the 2023 NFL Draft, so we're asking you today, who is on your three-player wish list for whom you'd like the Jacksonville Jaguars to select with that 24th pick? Now, a lot of you do your own research. You listen to this program. You listen to 1010XL all day, whatever the case. So you have a pretty good feel about the type of players that are being graded as values, say, between the 15th and the 30th pick in the first round of the draft. You know who's reasonably expected to maybe be there, not guaranteed to be there. Like, I saw a lot of Joey Porter Jr. today. Why not? A bunch of mock drafts are predicting that he'll be there at 24. I don't think it's absolutely crazy. I think it's still probably less than 50-50 that he would be. But, it's not like saying I want Will Anderson and I want Jalen Carter. Heck, you could even make the case that Jalen Carter could be the guy who slides because of the off-field stuff, but I doubt he makes it to 24. But
feels less and less likely.
It does.
As
now,
we approach.
It does, and I don't know if it should or not. I don't know if that's Drew Rosenhaus doing by refusing to have him work out for anybody outside the top 10, but whatever the case, I don't expect to see that name much, if at all, today. But if you don't have those three specific players, if you're not in love with Brian Branch and Osiris Torrance or whomever, you can just list the positions that you'd like the Jags to focus on that you hope that first-round pick comes from. Looking at yesterday's question of the day, Tony, still more people than not, if you look at it that way, more people than not think that they will get a long-term deal done with Josh Allen. Although the single category of they won't get one done won the poll with nearly 44% of the vote. The others kind of broke down when they thought that would occur. 11.4%, the final tally before the season kicks off this year. During the season, another 15.5%, but 29% think it'll happen sometime after the 2023 season. Again, I think that's when it's most likely to happen. Gun to the head right now, I'd say they wouldn't get it done. And, of the 43% that voted for that, a lot of them were like, hey, nor should they, right? That they just don't think he's going to be worth the kind of money that an edge rusher gets when you give him that first big contract, that second NFL contract, the first post-rookie deal. So anyway, that was interesting to be sure today. Not in poll form, asking you to do a little bit more work and list 3 players that are on your wish list. Interesting comments, both comments and non-comments from a current player and a former player who'd like to be a current player having to do with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'll explain what we're talking about when we come back here in just a moment. Daniel Jeremiah has updated his big board of prospect rankings. I was taking a peek earlier, seeing how much Hendon Hooker has moved up since he still has not been able to work out.
Right.
Moved up 5 spots since his last ranking. What did he do in that period of time?
Yeah.
You know, what? Did he go back to the film at that point? I don't quite understand that, but nevertheless, we'll take a perusal of Jeremiah's top 50 a little bit later. Hayes Carline going to join us. He's definitely in our top 50. He's in our top 5. You kidding me? He'll be along in about 30 minutes to talk all things Jaguars. Again, 3 weeks out from the NFL draft. You want to talk about any aspect of Jaguar football or the National Football League, you know how to do it at 641-1010 on the phone lines or the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, or hit us up on Twitter at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, and at IME to the T.
Come on, somebody.
All right, here we go. Jaguars Today off and rolling on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
This is Jaguars Today from the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Studios.
JOI, where the pros go.
Buying a car can be stressful, especially one sold as is or with no warranty. Do the 7, 10, or 30-day warranties leave you wondering what will happen on day 31?
Stop. Car buying doesn't need to be so stressful. Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet now offer the exclusive Beaver Certified program protecting your used car for 7 years or 100,000 miles. That's right. Certified Hondas, Fords, Nissans, and any other make you consider now come with the peace of mind you deserve. Shop worry-free at Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Monahan Jewelers is your local family jeweler for 44 years with a huge selection of GIA certified diamonds, gold, fine gemstone and diamond jewelry, and designer brands from all over the world. With our interest-free financing, we make it easy to acquire the perfect gift. Monahan Jewelers also specializes in custom jewelry design with thousands of customers all across Jacksonville. Come experience our beautiful selection of fine jewelry at your local family jeweler, Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
The Icemen are home this Friday and Saturday as they battle the Atlanta Gladiators at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Saturday is a hockey doubleheader as our local firefighters and EMTs square off with local police in the annual Guns N' Hoses charity hockey game at 3. Then stay for the Icemen at 7. A ticket to the Icemen gets you into both games. Proceeds go to JSO and JFRD supported charities. Tickets at Ticketmaster, JacksIceman.com, or call 602-PUCK. Icemen Hockey is #lights out.
There's no way to prepare for the impact an accident makes on your life. That's why we've spent 40 years getting ready for that moment when you need compassion and immediate action. The right doctors, investigators, our team of experienced attorneys, and your free consultation is already in place. So if you've been hurt, remember, the Farah Safety Net is right here to catch you. All you have to do is call Farah and Farah. It's what we built. Jacksonville.
The Masters. You can almost smell the azaleas and magnolias.
Smells super.
Catch Masters updates on 1010XL.
That bogey drops him out of the lead.
Brought to you by MyBookie.
Putting for the win.
And Mr. Sparky of the First Coast.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
If your hair is thinning and you're looking for an easy solution that will restore your hair, check out IHRS PRP Platelet-Rich Plasma. PRP, using your own platelets and cells to restore your hair where it's thinning. Combined with their FDA-approved laser hair therapy and pharmaceutical-grade products, all three will deliver one better result. Call IHRS now for a free evaluation and to find out if their PRP 45-minute treatment will work for you. Now there is a solution for any man or woman with any degree of hair loss, and it's all in one place. Call 904-777-IHRS. IHRS has been restoring hair for over 30 years. The staff at IHRS knows what it's like to lose their hair, and that's why they're ready to help you grow your hair back.
Schedule your free hair and scalp analysis today. Call 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or visit hair4me.com.
Everyone seems to be in a time crunch these days. Well, don't forget you can always count on the cold case at Daly's. Always convenient, always cold, whether it's the king of beers, Natty Light, Stella, or Cigar City, or Goose Island, or Bud Light Seltzer. Dash into Daly's and grab one to go.
Need cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all. Selling or pawning, get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
What if you could be credit card debt-free in 10 days and save as much as $1,000 a month? Loan Pronto's all-new Express Equity Line of Credit program is just what you need. Hey, it's Prosser here. You don't have to do a full home refi. You can tap a small portion of the equity you have and enjoy a super low monthly payment. With Loan Pronto's Express Equity Credit Line, you can close in 7 to 10 days, and a $50,000 loan will only cost you around $400 a month. Use that money and pay off high-interest credit cards or do a home improvement project. You can access up to 90% of your home's equity, and 9 out of 10 homeowners won't even need an appraisal. So even if you did a total refi recently or just bought your home, you can tap the equity with this fast, easy program. Stop the madness. Say no to 24% interest fees. Call Loan Pronto today. 904-999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Or as always, you can visit loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
Are you crazy?
Making crazy a way of life.
Yeah, out of control.
The Drill.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on.
Mornings.
Let's get nuts.
On 1010XL.
What are you, crazy?
Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars today on 1010XL.
I think that the game is sort of changing into that mold where that slot corner has to offer more than just being a guy who can cover a sort of quicker receiver there. He has to be big, physical, because, you know, the fronts are getting smaller and smaller. So he has to be able to, you know, defend the run. I think Brian Branch is a really good player at that.
Now, more Jaguars today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, is Brian Branch on your personal 3-player wish list for the 24th selection for the Jacksonville Jaguars? Today's question today is asking you to reveal that wish list to us and tell us who the top 3 players are that you hope the Jags have a shot at, and, you know, kind of in the order of preference. Hey, if this guy's there, take him. Boom. Not this guy. If not the next guy. That guy, have we decided that Victor Hovland looks like, who is it, French Stewart? Is that the guy's name, the actor?
He's got a little bit of French Stewart.
Little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. He's like a dead ringer for him. Tigers in the fairway on 1. I mean, look, this isn't the only measure of it, but we'd probably be watching the Masters on a stream anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that Tigers in the featured group, and the featured group coverage started at 10:10. Right?
Mm-hmm.
1010XL. But it started at 10:10.
Mm-hmm.
And when you went there, it said feature group coverage will begin at 10:18, which is Tiger's tee time. It's like, we're not going to feature anything until Tiger hits the first ball of the day. And then we can also see Victor Hovland and Xander Schauffele getting drug around in that group. I say drug around. They're probably both out scoring Tiger today, but you get the idea. All right, Cam Newton no longer, or at the moment, not in the National Football League, right?
Correct.
Wants back in.
Yeah.
Perception of what Cam wants is a starting job, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he now insists he is content to be a backup, but only for certain quarterbacks. Okay, so he gave a list. Did you see this list of quarterbacks that he gave out that he would be willing to come in as a backup to?
I glanced at it yesterday.
All right, well, some of these make perfect sense.
Uh-huh.
He'd be willing to be a backup to Deshaun Watson. All right, well, obviously, Deshaun Watson's got the guaranteed money, not going anywhere, if you went to Cleveland, you'd have to be the backup, right? He'd be willing to be a backup to Lamar Jackson if he ever plays football again, right? He'd be willing to be a backup to Justin Fields. Okay. Hasn't proven nearly as much. He'd be willing to be a backup to Malik Willis of the Titans?
Oh, that's just the path to starting.
What does that mean? Your fourth string?
Yeah.
Because how does it go right now? Is it Tannehill, Dobbs, Willis? Is that
sounds like he's assuming Tannehill's gone? But yeah, I hear you.
I guess, but if he is, why are we assuming Willis is going to be the starter? Right? All right. So that was odd. He'd be willing to be a backup to any of the incoming rookies named Stroud, Young, or Richardson.
Okay.
Will Levis? No, apparently. He'd be willing to be a backup to Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
He'd be willing to be a backup to Jalen Hurts. He'd be willing to be a backup to Josh Allen. And he listed Sam Howell of the Washington Commanders as quarterbacks he'd be willing to be a backup to. What?
Yeah.
That's weird as well, right? I mean, Sam Howell started one game at the end of the year, did okay, and has been kind of anointed the temporary starter, right? So there are a lot of quarterbacks he did not mention that he'd be willing to be a backup. Now, he went on to say that if he didn't mention the quarterback, Tony, they fit into one camp or the other. They're either players who are completely and fully entrenched and need no support or assistance from Newton, or they're players that he would want to compete with. Like, hey, if I go to Atlanta, I expect to be given a shot to beat out Desmond Ridder. That's not unreasonable, right?
Okay. Yeah.
I don't, and it's very reasonable that I guess he's listing these guys as if to say there'd be any doubt he'd be the backup behind Aaron Rodgers right now, or any doubt he'd be the backup behind Lamar Jackson. But I'm going to go ahead and assume that he puts Trevor Lawrence in the group with Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and Justin Herbert as guys that are fully entrenched, don't need his help, no shot, no prayer that he'd ever start there. It's interesting. He'll list Josh Allen of the Bills, but he won't put Trevor Lawrence on that list, and I don't think it's because he thinks he could come in and compete with Trevor Lawrence.
No, it feels to me like Cam Newton just made his Super Bowl prediction, right? Like he thinks it's going to be Bills-Eagles in the Super Bowl. It is kind of what that felt like to me. It's like you're not overtaking Jalen Hurts at this point, right? Like, that's not happening in Philadelphia. You're not overtaking Josh Allen in Buffalo. You said that you have categories for guys that are entrenched enough that you're not going to be competing for the starting job with them. So, okay, you want to go ring chasing in Buffalo or Philadelphia, I get it, right? If you're Cam Newton and that's where you wind up going. But to have a category that you do that and say, no, I don't want to be the backup in Kansas City, why not?
Maybe he feels like, with the style of play of Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen, right? Big, more rugged running quarterbacks.
Style play, yeah.
That he'd be a good fit.
And he's got Lamar
with that
in
style
there too.
Of play, and
all that makes
there
sense.
would be a benefit to him going there. Hey, here is my life as a mobile quarterback who also, by the way, set the rookie passing record. I mean, Cam was an accomplished passer as well, league MVP. All
and that
these
may
things.
be as far as he thought about it with the Malik Willis thing too. More
Maybe.
mobile guy, I can come in and be a backup to a mobile guy, but he's not even the starter.
But you tell him it right.
Yet.
But even if he were,
like
you tell me Cam doesn't think he's better than Malik Willis.
Oh, if he went there, he would.
Sam
think
Howell
he could start.
Come on. I mean that's where if you had just taken those two off the list, I could take it a little bit more seriously. But on the one hand, I look at it and say, well, here's Cam Newton, basically saying that Trevor Lawrence is one of a handful of elite quarterbacks that there's no point in even discussing this about, right? And that is recognized. And maybe it is a style of play thing that he feels like he has, even though he wouldn't beat them out, he'd have something to offer to guys like Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen. I don't know what he has to offer to Aaron Rodgers, at this point in his career with all the MVPs that he has won as well. But nevertheless, that I took that as basically like, come on, why even list that team? Because they're all set and everybody knows they're set and they're going to be set for a long, long time. So that's a positive, even though I thought the list was a little kooky because of the inclusion of two guys.
Yes.
So that's one guy who's not currently on a roster in the NFL, sort of referencing a player on the Jacksonville Jaguars and giving him props in a sense. Then you've got the guy who is still currently playing in the National Football League, although according to himself, only for the next 3 years. And that would be Tyreek Hill. And look, Tyreek Hill has every right to define how long his career is going to be. He said he wants to play 10 years. That'll take him through 2025. And, at which point he'll have made $8 bajillion. And
has plans after
he's
football.
got business plans, and he'll be 31 years old and wants to be done, and so be it, right? So there you go. But he talked about why he left Kansas City. We all know it was a money issue, but get our guy's name out your mouth, Tyreek Hill. I know you're an accomplished player, right? You've been fantastic. He's got a ring, right? He got a ring on the first Chiefs Mahomes team.
Yep.
But talked about why he needed to get out of Kansas City to make sure he got paid. And it all came down to Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk signed the deal. This is Tyreek Hill talking with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And he surpassed me. And I'm like, bro, I compete on the field. And I also compete on the business out of this too. And, of course, Kirk gets a 4-year, $72 million deal. And everyone's saying, oh, it's blowing the market out. And so Hill continues. So I'm not going to let Christian Kirk have a higher contract than me. I'm not. I'm just not. And, most of these guys will not reference another player's deal, specifically by name. And I'm not Tyreek Hill's a better player than Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
He is. Okay? We love Christian Kirk. Thought, based on where the market is now, he lived up to that contract last year. But there's no question other players around the league are like, this dude didn't even have 1,000 yards. You wonder what the Jags would have paid Tyreek Hill if he were a pure free agent.
Right.
$36 million, maybe?
Something nuts.
I don't know. Probably would have been worth it. Look at the numbers he put up last year with, Tua in and out of the lineup. But you rarely see a guy trash another contract by name, right? So you'll say, have you seen some of the deals been given out? And everybody will know who they're talking about. And I guess you could say, hey, he's a real one. He's keeping it real. But I just felt like it's kind of out of bounds by typical NFL standards to rip a guy's specific contract and call that player out by name, basically.
Yeah,
bro.
I don't think it's going to lead to any beef between Christian Kirk and Tyreek Hill.
either.
But the next time Kirk saw Tyreek, I wouldn't be surprised if he said, why by name, man?
Or probably knowing Christian Kirk, probably just nothing.
Right.
Let it slide.
Is it not
I'll worry
enough
about
to just
me.
say the wide receiver market got reset? I think I should be at the top of the market.
Right. Guys, you could say guys getting way more money than I ever got, even though I accomplished a lot more. We could put the pieces together.
Right.
And again, you know what?
Which is how they typically do it. It's just atypical for a player to mention. They'll mention the contracts other guys are getting in a vague way. Right.
They won't say Christian Kirk got what?
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, so
it's a little bit.
That's why it
farther
just
than
stood
most
out
guys
to me.
go.
It was like, wow, he's just really going to go there. And again, I'm not saying he's wrong. He deserves to be paid more than Christian Kirk, right?
He does.
And the market adjusted. And a bunch of guys now are getting well above that. And not that there weren't guys getting above what Christian Kirk got anyway. But, couldn't he have said, see what Kenny Golladay got? What? You know what I mean? I guess, and that's part of it. Kenny Golladay, when he came from Detroit, had already had a couple of 1,000-yard seasons when he got that deal.
Sure.
But then he ended up being a catastrophic flop by NFL standards with the Giants.
Well, I think the whole NFL world has basically forgotten Kenny Golladay plays football, right? And that may be part of why Tyreek Hill,
Daniel Jones might have.
Right, doesn't mention Golladay. He mentions the Kirk contract. Right, which Kirk is playing up to through 1 year here in Jacksonville. So it's not like the contract isn't worth it. It's the same contract Kenny Golladay got, but who even knows about Kenny Golladay anymore?
Well, I think at the
2 years
time
ago.
when he signed it, if you looked at his numbers at the time that he signed it, compared to what Christian Kirk had done at that point in his career. Now, he was coming off an injury-plagued season where he only played 5 games. But the 2 years prior to that, Kenny Golladay had 1,063 yards and 5 touchdowns, and then 1,190 and 11 touchdowns, average 18 yards a catch. So that was his last full season. And he's been terrible. He's been awful so far. Tiger for birdie on the first hole, Tony. A little greeny, but didn't leave himself too close and left himself a little bit of meat on the bone, as they like to say right there. That was a weak effort there by Eldrick. That left him maybe 4 feet short. Usually, I mean, if anything, I don't care how wobbly your knee is. You could putt. So that's he definitely can't be giving away strokes on the greens here.
I heard yesterday during the par 3 contest, I can't remember the exact numbers, but it was something like 13 of the previous 18 champions have birdied the first hole of their tournament.
Is that right?
Something like that.
Well, I saw there's so much talk about how the last umpteen winners, however many it's been, have been under par on Thursday.
Yeah.
And in the top 10, like you got to be basically in the top 10. It is front runner tournament. We'll get a couple of guys in the top 10 at the end of the day. You'll be like, that'll never hold up. But like if Fred Couples is at 1 under at the end of the day, it wouldn't shock you. It's just like he's probably not going to keep that up over 4 days. So after being the closest on his approach shot, Tiger is furthest from the hole for cleaning up a par, but he does successfully do that. So he's even on the first hole. Yeah, we're going to give you a few Tiger Masters updates throughout the course. We got twice hourly updates, by the way, from the Masters coming up here on 1010XL, including on Jaguars today. So stick around for those. Hayes Carlyon on the other side. Keep Christian Kirk's name out your mouth there, Tyree. Come on, Cheetah. You're better than that. I mean, at least as a player. My goodness. You don't need to worry about it, but everybody knows what you're talking about. Just don't need to go there. Christian Kirk earned his money. I know that last year. And if I were Tyreek Hill, I'd want to earn more than Christian Kirk as well. You got it? Be satisfied with it. All right, we'll come back with the hammer. Hayes Carlyon talking Jaguar football with you here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
If you bleed teal and black, then welcome home. Jaguars today on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Now, a Masters update on 1010XL, brought to you by Mr. Sparky of the First Coast and MyBookie.
From the Augusta National Golf Club, Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the Masters. I'm Ted Emmerich. Next hour, Tiger Woods tees it up in the Masters for the 25th time. The 5-time champion is more than 2 years removed from the car accident that almost claimed his leg.
I'm very lucky to have this leg. It's mine. Yes, it has been altered and there's some hardware in there, but it's still mine. It has been tough and it will always be tough. The ability and endurance and what my leg will do going forward, it will never be the same. I understand that. It's one of the reasons why I can't prepare, I can't play as many tournaments I'd like. But that's my future, and that's okay. I'm okay with that.
Woods has played in only one other event this year. He made the cut at Riviera. And remember, last year at the Masters, Tiger did shoot a 1 under 71 in the first round before he cratered over the weekend. You're listening to coverage of the 2023 Masters on Westwood One.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel vPro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Gray skies at Augusta National. There's a 30% chance for storms in the late afternoon. Much stronger chances this weekend. Let's check the leaderboard, sponsored by Grainger. Grainger has supplies and solutions for every industry. Visit Grainger.com. There are 5 players at 1 under par very early in this first round. Scott Stallings is through 7. Stallings, who had his invitation mailed to another Scott Stallings before they sorted it out leading up to the tournament. Kevin Kisner's through 5. Louis Oosthuizen through 5 at 1 under. Patrick Reed, Sahith Theegala also at 1 under par. Oosthuizen and Reed representing Live Golf, 2 of the 18 players from Live in the field. Kevin Na also from Live. He double bogeyed the first. Na 4 over through 9. That's what happens in here if you're not careful. At even par, Adrian Meronk even threw 5, the first player from Poland to compete at the Masters. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
Some people don't do well under pressure. At Northern Tool and Equipment, we do it best. Whether you're spraying down the shop or getting the winter grime off your house, a Northern Tool pressure washer says you're serious about spring cleaning. From an all-electric power horse to a Honda-powered North Star, we'll help you build your perfect cold or hot water package with all the chemicals, attachments, and everything you need for the job ahead. Northern Tool and Equipment. We're made for this. Come see us in-store or shop online at northerntool.com.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about not being afraid of the crosses of life. Life can be difficult. Maybe today you're carrying a cross of worry or stress. Let me encourage you to remember that when Christ got on the big cross at Golgotha, he destroyed all the little crosses that we face in our life. He set us free from fear, worry, and anxiety. Our job is not to be carried by the cross, but to be carried by our faith.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Hey folks, you ever search why Shark Coatings is the best? Well, one of the many reasons is our polyurea. We don't just buy it from anyone who has it in stock. We custom blend ours, specializing between summer and winter blend, providing you with the best product for our area. After grinding the concrete, that polyurea will form a permanent bond at the molecular level and will not pull away like epoxy. With Shark Coatings, not only will your garage look awesome, but your pool deck, patio, or driveway will too. See how Shark Coatings can make a difference for you. Call, click, or text today.
If you like live music, fun activities, and sipping your favorite drink at a tiki bar, you don't have to travel far or break the bank to make it happen. Island Oaks RV Resort is just past McClenny off of exit 333, offering all of this. Visit islandoaksrvresort.com to book your stay.
Shinedown is live at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena, April 14th. For a chance to win tickets, text Shinedown to the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010.
ITP Partners, the official financial firm for the station to beat inflation.
Whoa, Dan. People don't want to joke about their money, not during these tough times.
You mean they'd rather hear about how ITP Partners takes our money and makes us more money?
Now you're talking. They make financial planning simple and easy to understand, even for a couple of slappies like us.
Those guys have been serving Hickets for 3 generations. Junie Bug, me. I even got my son Drew being smart with his money in his 20s.
It's never too early to talk with Chris Bryan, Dan Abel, Brian Wright, Reagan Wright, Jeff Hartman, and Craig Ross.
Financial questions, ideas, or thoughts? Email chris@itppartners.com.
This is Keith Catlin for Catlin Truck Accessories, and we are so blessed to be in business for over 100 years. Over 100 years of the best product and customer service means you can count on Catlin. From roll-and lock bed covers to Lear toppers to cam locker toolboxes, Catlin Truck Accessories has you covered when it comes to your truck or van. We do those too. Got a fleet of vehicles? We can outfit them all.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
One name, one location, 100 years. You can count on Catlin.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball presented by FIS is home all weekend at 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark. It's Thirsty Thursday tonight and then Red Shirt Friday and fireworks tomorrow. The first 2,000 fans Saturday get a free t-shirt with more fireworks courtesy of 1-to-1 Financial and Atlantic Self Storage. Then on Baptist Health Sunday Family Fun Day, kids run the bases after the game. JackShrimp.com for tickets.
Northeast Florida's highest-rated residential home electrical contractor is American Electrical, providing unsurpassed quality in Duval, St. Johns, Clay, and Nassau counties. No matter your electrical problem or project, large or small, American Electrical will get it done at a price that's right. High-quality electrician, that's who they are. Trust a company that's been on the First Coast for decades, proudly serving the community while being a big part of the community. Call American Electrical for all your electric needs at 737-7770. Wired right at a fair price.
Are your kids ready to play this summer? Come check out the Y. Summer is a time for kids to explore new things and expand the limits of their imagination. At the Y Summer Camp, every day is a new adventure. Kids can learn about STEM, arts and humanities, athletic sports, outdoor games, and more. Registration is now open, but space is limited, and spots are filling up quickly. Learn more and find your adventure at fcymca.org. Search Summer Day Camp.
What keeps you from getting things done? Often it's a problem. Well, what if the problem isn't a problem at all? Hey, gang, you've been thinking about selling your home, but you think it's just too much out there to stop you? Let me tell you that there's not with Chad and Sandy. At Chad and Sandy, they guarantee your home sold at agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. So no matter the reason that it's time for you to move, maybe you need a bigger home for your office or your growing family. Well, Chad and Sandy are the real estate experts we trust and recommend for the sale of your home. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Take Caleb and Kendall Point. I finished my military service. I got a great job offer back home and was excited for my new life to begin pronto. Chad is a former Navy, and he bent over backwards to make things happen for me. Incredibly, my home sold in 5 days above list price. The problem solvers at Chad and Sandy. Go to chadandsandy.com or call 414-6200. chadandsandy.com.
As parents, we all want to ensure that our children are safe, secure, and healthy starting day one. Please make sure your newborn is sleeping safely. Visit WilsonChildren's.com/safe sleep for infant safety tips.
The team that loves the team you love.
They came together as a team.
1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars Today
On 1010XL. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, hammer time. Hayes Carline of the Frangie Show, 1010XL Jaguar embedded reporter, joins us here on Jaguars Today. Good morning, Hayes. How are you?
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?